literally changed our spells that we were putting on ourselves.
I've been feeling that so much lately too about this self-doubt thing, you know what I mean? Right. Having the confidence in yourself. It's the fear and the doubt that I've really been put through in the last 2 months, like go back on my decision or keep going sort of thing, like not even knowing where I'm going, like improvising in the process.
Universal flow.
Yeah. Before you finish.
Yes, sir.
This is just from a video I just made. Like you said, night owls. So that means you're staying up past midnight, right? So when you're staying up past midnight, you're doing stuff that other people aren't doing. And that's what you call your overtime hours. When you go to work, you're going overtime so you can make that money, so you can do trips, so you ain't got nothing to worry about. So you putting in them extra hours that nobody else putting in, you ahead of people. But even you keep doing it for a whole year straight, nobody else staying up that late. You got them beat.
A body on.
Because you know what happens in culture a lot of times, especially within where we're at in like our economic culture, is that relationships and friendships and things like that become transactional. And a lot of times they're not generative. There's not a togetherness about them. It's like a let me depend on you sort of thing. And I'm like siphoning, not me, but siphon. People become batteries for one another in like a disharmonious sort of way. Yes, sir. See, when you're going your way, bro, I'll help you. I'll help be that fuel. Right. Especially when I can generate myself. I can heal and I can be like that lightning that can help bloom others as well. Right. When it's time to go my way, you can help me do that too, if you're cool with that kind of stuff. And then there's times where we're like both on the same tangent. But a lot of times what happens is that
give and take.
Exactly. So sometimes it's an oscillation, right? And sometimes it's like we're doing the same shit. But a lot of times, man, I swear, it's just always like it's just like too much taking, like too much siphoning. It's not balanced, it's imbalance. And that's what I see in this culture as well. Thank you. It's become so transactional.
Hold on, Mike. For those who don't know, that you are tuning into the E.P.K podcast, the Spellcast, and this is called the Eternally Prolific King Spellcast. Why is that? Well, because I am surrounded by one of Houston's greatest kings. Why is that? Because we are all in alignment of love. You have my main man Michael right here smoking a wonderful cigar. You got the King Larry right here smoking another cigar. And you got King Knight. If you all remember episode 8, King Knight is definitely here, Chris. So we're going to go back to what it is that we're speaking on. And when you're listening to what it is that we have to say, always hear what we're saying and see through the lens of love. If your perspective is distorted based off of how we look, well, it's because you have to look in the mirror for yourself and find love so that you can receive what it is that we have to say. Because we simply could have not recorded this and kept it all for ourselves. But that's how much love we have for each other and for the world. We just spew it out.
Hey, buddy, you good?
Like I make too much waves. No, yeah, you've really made me a believer on cigars, though. This shit's fucking...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. To, like, finish up what you were saying, like, you have to look at yourself as your own business. You're your own business, right? So how we all talking, we're not just humans, right? We're our own business. We're putting out different ideas. And all the businesses, we come together and we make this boom, big profit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's alignment. You know what I'm saying? You're lining yourself up for something. You all putting your visions together so y'all can go a little bit farther. You feel me?
Yeah. You know what you do. Everybody knows what to do to take yourself to the next level.
Right.
You can't never go to somebody asking, what should I do? Yeah. Only you know what you can do.
Exactly. Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
why
all
even
it
like
is
making
bro.
marketing systems and things like that. Like you're making a system, but it might not be what's needed every time. Right. Like improvisation is part of creation and self-creation too.
Like I said, last August, I spent my wife and I spent $1,000 on marketing for what it is that I'm doing, the live drawings. After we recognized 8 months later that they never rendered the services, we disputed it and got our money back. Yeah. But it took a bad taste in our mouth, letting us know, one, these advertising agencies are a lot of scams. And over the past 8 months, I literally marketed myself to the point to where they can't market me better than me.
Why would you pay somebody for something that you can go out and self-teach yourself and you can do it better?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So, we smoking the factory smokes by the Droid State. Chris wasn't a fan until I just gave him this sweet one. It's a sweet one.
Smooth, yeah.
So smooth.
Tasty.
Yeah.
It's about contrast, people.
Right.
The bitterness of agar with the sweetness of the paper is like, fuck, it's
I'd
like
rather
ice cream,
smoke this than marijuana.
Fact, this is $3.95, bro.
Can't beat that.
Not at all.
I gotta take you into that spot.
I actually have been writing some poetry too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
fucking-
talking about. The medium.
Women fucking inspire me, dude. It
Yeah,
makes me
yeah,
like I never
bro.
saw myself as a
Dante.
participant
It's a
in the art
feminine
world
planet.
ever. Just when I told you, I was like, I'm a viewer of art. It's like, no, dude. Ever since I met you and I fucking had that shit happen, dude, the women just fucking. Women really like manifest. Just like I channel something. It's not even me. And I just like it spews onto paper for real.
The arc of reincarnation, the way I see it, right, is you reach first, because if you can't swim yourself, you can't help others if they're drowning. So you reach, you acquire, you give back to the family, and then you extend to everyone else. I love that. Or like who you're willing to give to. You have to grow what you're about. Right. So you don't want to be like, giving to things that you really don't fuck with. Right. It's beautiful. Yeah, bro, that's so powerful.
And it's
course.
better, bro. The more you can rely on yourself, the more
Exactly.
agency you get, the more you can design.
Nobody can
Right.
take that away from you. If you know how to do this and you self-taught is always the best way.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, of course. It's
I taught
your
myself how to cut hair,
Sick.
literally,
Yeah.
since a child.
We shouldn't even have to like do things. It comes to us.
Yes.
And us as men, we have to balance out our masculine energy with our feminine energy.
I
Facts.
understand.
Because
That's
we
the
have
thing.
both.
What do
Got
you?
both.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's what is necessary for creation, right? We're an XY axis. They're an XX chromosome. And when you don't balance your feminine, you're not feeling, you're not absorbing, you don't know how to craft around.
Right.
You get unrelenting willpower to impose yourself, but around what? Around who? Like, are you helping what's going on now bloom?
Right.
What's around you bloom, or are you just like shoving your dick into the world?
Right.
And there are times to do that. There are
It's a
times to
little
do that.
abrasive, isn't it?
But there are times to do that, but it's incognizant. Well, it's like you're putting the world right, fucking right there. Sometimes you need to do that. There's times to do that. But if you're disconnected from the feminine, if you're disconnected from you, children, women,
Yeah.
They're the selectors,
children are the
right?
true enlightened.
Right.
They're unconditioned. They're the most recent iteration of the planet. They're the most recent energy of the planet. So you have to listen to the energy that she's birthing, both in the children and how she's feeling. Remember I told you I knew all that stuff was coming a couple years down the pipeline?
Yeah.
It's because your culture or like your background, I don't know what to call it.
What do you mean, you
ethnicity.
people?
Yeah, exactly. But what was happening is that there was stress happening in your community, massive amounts of stress. And that's energy. It's coming up, right? It's not shaped.
And,
And
for
then
those
it's like,
who don't know,
and
he's
as,
speaking of the black community. Continue.
yes. And
Yeah, we've talked about this prior, so it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
catching them
yeah,
up.
right. So when the BLM thing popped off, right? Once you tap into a certain like connection with femininity is the energy. It's the unshaped energy. Like high tier femininity is like sonics, sounds, phonetics, feelings, senses. It's not words or shapes and things like that. That's masculine. That's form. Feminine is formlessness. So when you listen to the formlessness, the energy that she's arising, you can craft around her energy and you can help shape her energy. And like I said, there are times to like, look, bitch, this is the way we're going. Sometimes that happens.
It's
Because
the
she might
cuts and turns of life.
she might get caught up in those loops. She might get caught up in those.
some $1 billion words, bro. you know
Let
what
him-
I'm saying?
Go ahead, continue. But that's what you're saying. That's what's happening right here. We're literally allowing Mother Earth
Yes.
energy that's being
I
birthed
wanna,
for us
look,
here.
I know that that's like tough and out of your world, but I want to like bring you guys in there for like a day or something. Like I can take some like real like
We went. It's fucking great, dude.
chill places that aren't like that sort of thing. Like I'm roughing it sometimes, but there's some beautiful serene places, and you connect to that forest. You're connecting to the mother. Man, the food that we eat, fusing our body with.
We went and swam in the fucking cold ass river.
Yes,
It was
you connect.
and
Yes,
bathed
connecting
in
to
the sun,
bro.
and let it cook me to warmth again.
The mother
bro.
heals,
oh my
man.
God,
Yes,
it
yes,
provides,
it's that
my
contrast,
guy.
bro.
Holy fuck!
It's rejuvenating.
It's like
Right.
wine and
Yes,
cheese,
yes.
my guy.
Bathed in the holy water. That's what that is.
That's crazy you say that.
When you're out in nature, right? Like if you want to get scientific about it, the man-made world has positive ionic energy. It's stress energy. That's what the man-made world is. And that's okay. You want stress in the right way. You don't want distress. That's what a lot of people in these, not bullshit, but certain jobs, they're being stressed in the wrong ways. I want stress. I want stress in the ways that I want to grow.
Stress is necessary.
Yes, in the ways that you want. Forces get fed. So if you're comfortable all the time, someone's paying that stress for it somewhere. Right. Some kid in Indonesia making your shoes and shit like that. If you're not paying that stress for it, someone else is. Right. So it's like Atlas, man. Like you want to carry some of that stress. It'll help offload other people so they can tend to like struggles that they're going on with them.
Let me piggyback off of what he said real quick, and that's very true. I have, as we know, I have a wife and a son, And my wife tends to get up in the rising to take him to daycare because I'm such a night owl. So that's when I have my opportunities to create and to do my thing.
Before you finish,
Yes, sir.
this is just from a video I just made. Like you said, night owl. So that means you're staying up past midnight, right? So when you're staying up past midnight, you're doing stuff that other people aren't doing, and that's what you call your overtime hours.
Right.
When you go to work, you're going overtime so you can make that money, so you can do trips, so you ain't got nothing to worry about.
sir.
So you putting in them extra hours that nobody else putting in.
Right.
You ahead of people.
But
But
even
you keep
at-
doing it for a whole year straight. Nobody else staying up
Dude,
that
this
late.
guy's
You got them
got
beat.
a body on
And
him,
I
dude.
literally
He's got a
have, and
body
that's
of
the
work.
thing. Whenever you check out the discography, if you all don't know, you can check out my YouTube channel called Dante 3000. It's basically a diary where I express myself as opposed to just asking you to like, comment, and subscribe. I just show you who I am.
Yes,
and you-
authentically expressing ourselves.
That's it.
Yeah,
So
like,
as he was
for real.
saying, I've been putting in the overtime since we've been together, 3 years, to the point to where now I do recognize I have to just attract in my feminine energy, and that's where it's at.
Yeah,
But I only
reception.
say that to say that she would let me know, hey, I'm tired. I would like to sleep in also. Then I'm like, okay, now that the queen has spoken, who am I not to give her wishes? So I would literally get up even when I am tired. I'm tired, literally went to sleep a couple hours ago. My back is tired. I'll get up because I know how important it is to rest in the rising.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes she don't even lay down. She'll literally be like, okay, I want to come with y'all to drop him off to the daycare because it's all about the family thing. But
Right.
just hearing her saying, oh, can you cook for Malachi today? I'll cook. Because I literally, that's what took me so long
It's
to
a labor
come
of
here,
love,
guys.
man.
It's a labor of love.
You're
And that's how it
you're
is.
building your empire.
Right. So that's what took me
Balance.
so long to get here. I was making sure that she
That's
didn't have
okay.
to do anything at all while I was there, as well as while I'm away. She could just relax. So when I come back, it's not me just having a fun day while she's having to do all this.
Yo, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You had to feed him this morning? I caught.
So I can save $40 every week and every 2 weeks on a haircut
Self-reliant.
because I'm self-reliant. I cut my kid hair before I left.
That's a look. You can look at it business-wise. That's an asset that you just added to your
You're
life.
the
Right.
asset, right?
You know what I'm
The
saying?
more
You're the asset.
you put the money
Facts.
back into yourself and self-develop, the more you can go out and have your sort of own agency.
Right.
And you can offer yourself to others. It doesn't just need to be
And
like
look,
money or this.
the liability.
Right.
The liability is you putting yourself in an environment where you know you can't grow in.
Facts.
Yeah.
But is that self-love?
You're not giving self-love
If
to
you're not
yourself.
doing
If you know what
experiences,
you're
like-
worth, if you know what you're worth, you're not giving self-love to yourself.
Yeah.
Now, what if life took me to this point to where I'm in this environment where I know I deserve to be somewhere better, but this is where I'm at currently? What is that called then?
That's just where you gotta go through it. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody. Would you say everybody got a testimony?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta go through those different trials and tribulations so you can understand different viewpoints of life.
Right.
That's just-
Yeah.
You
Well,
really
like,
need to know yourself when you break down like 7 times, right?
Right.
and like seeing other people's perspectives and what they go through too.
Facts.
That's one of the primary reasons I'd like to learn more languages or like more skills, things like that, is because it helps me understand what other people go through,
Right.
what other people know. It gives me another medium to communicate with them.
Right.
Yeah, we're like, and when you're self-taught, you can cultivate your own language in that medium,
Right.
and then you can communicate with someone else through that. You can understand more about them, what they go through, their lifestyle. When you're going through your own tribulations,
You're a lot more emphatic to the struggles of others.
exactly,
Right.
because you have more of a personal relationship with what they're going through. That's why
Facts.
it's like there's such a difficult thing to try to understand like racial, cultural differences and
Yeah.
things like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm never gonna know what it's like to be black,
Right.
but like all I have to listen to is like voices and things like that. You know what I mean? And that's
Right.
like I love to not only hear other perspectives, but try to get into the shoes of others as much as I can. Because if I can't first understand them, how am I gonna assist or help grow them or
not
like
gonna happen.
know
Look.
what's needed to remedy or whatever?
I feel like it's a better way. It's not just understanding somebody by their color.
No,
You should-
I
yeah.
mean living like
Yeah, but I'm
the-
saying,
the
but some people
lifestyle.
like
Culturally.
You know what I'm saying? Some people they might see somebody, oh, he wearing this, he wearing that. I don't base off what nobody wearing.
Yeah.
If I see what you wearing or whatever you doing, whatever you look like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna base, oh, that's what he is.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Your voice is
Of
gonna tell it
course,
all.
of course.
You know what I'm saying? If you lying to me, I'm gonna be able to tell that.
course.
Because you're gonna know that you lying to yourself. And I'm gonna read it on your face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Hell yeah. That's the thing, is like when you lie to others, you lie to yourself.
Facts. And
you're
all you're
cutting
doing is hurting yourself.
Exactly. You're cutting off parts of yourself, basically.
So it goes back to you saying what you said. If they aren't loving themselves, then they're not going to be able to see the love through me, like at the park.
Facts.
So those people was projecting so much hate on you because they didn't love themselves.
Yeah.
But because their energy was so strong, it was getting in your head and making you feel
Like
a
you
sense
wrong.
of right. When in reality, you have to just simply ground yourself and knowing, hold on,
Everybody's not going to understand everything you understand.
I'm a human also, bro.
You can't expect you out of somebody else.
Of course.
So you can't project you onto anybody else also, which is why my philosophy is being free. When you're free, you can express yourself solely 100% from your
And they
perspective.
gotta respect it.
That's it.
And they gotta
I can't respect myself if I don't try, like you said with the girl.
It reminds me of Buddhism. It's like the like removing yourself from wants and desires to fucking like operate purely from your own intention.
Cause look,
right.
Cause let me tell you what's gonna happen. Just how that happened back there in the restaurant. I promise, in this mall, it's gonna be somebody look 20 times better. It's gonna be boom, just like that.
Right.
You feel me? That's just what it is.
But you had to practice the universal law, which is detachment. It's not just the law of attraction. There's a law of detachment. You have to detach yourself from the outcome so that the outcome can come that much quicker to you because you're not.
That's the thing about like that's why I try to see it as like I'm going at this as a personal learning experience or like a thing to grow in. I don't know if I put those words, but
that's it. That's what you said.
Yeah.
You
but
said
the thing is, like, that's what I want. I want the points. I want the stripes.
Right.
It's not always about the ends, right?
Right.
The ends are so I can get more stripes, and so I can spread those stripes.
Right.
But that's the thing is that like I'm not worried about the outcome. That's why I think like winning is for casuals. Like if I'm always losing, that means I'm always being challenged. And the challenge from that is maintaining your self-confidence, and that's where you really have to face down shit like that. You don't stay in the comforts of this and that.
What is challenging new to you though?
That's challenging as fuck, and that's like where the real meat of spiritual development is. If you ask me, I don't know if I'm on 4 legs with that kind of stuff yet. That's where I want to be.
Do you learn more from winning or losing?
I caught that. I'm running through the forest. I caught that because I thought I had to be there at 8. I've been up since 5.
You've been saying that for a long time.
We all got blood, bro.
The forest is negative ionic energy. It's healing. It wants to balance out your energy. The mother is a great alignment of energy. So when you're talking about being up at night, overclocking, you're also working at a time where everyone else is asleep. You're not having people's active energy around you.
Yes, sir.
So you get to permeate the space a bit more too.
Yes, sir.
When you're out in nature, it siphons basically the distress happening in you. That tension. Let's take a moment.
You feel it. It's like silence now.
It pulls that out of you. It pulls that tension. It resets the wave, right? Yeah. And that's what being out in nature can do for you. Right. And so when I'm out there, I'm clean. I'm around no one, right? Yeah. It's just my energy. And I caught you this morning. I'm running through the forest. My legs fucked up because of like we've been running all the time. We've been on the pavement all the time. And like I had a journey this morning. But I'm running and I'm like, I got to make it there at 8. And it's like 7:30. I'm running, and I heard like I'm feeding Malachi food. Crazy. Yes,
Jesus Christ.
Dante, 1,000,000%.
I know.
I'm running through the forest, and it's like feeding Malachi because it's like telling me, yo, chill, chill, take it easy on the way. But I kept going and going and going and going because I'm like,
because you can't.
I gotta be there.
You can't force. You can't force.
That's what I did.
You can't
though.
go against. Once you go against, it's just going to keep pushing.
I learned that a lot.
You're like, now here comes my
fucking. Not force things.
You can't. Because
no, it's got to come natural.
Happen, that's how it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
When you keep trying to do something.
Yeah. No, but sometimes you got to grab the wheel.
Yeah, you do.
There are times you got to grab the wheel.
Yeah, but it's like to grab the wheel to.
But you got to know when to let go of that rock too, to listen to result.
You're like, oh, this sucks.
Let me give you all the stuff in the shopping cart. But I listened, I received, and I realized it's being written at the moment, and you improvise, right?
Yeah. You see how that bee flying by you, right? Right. Okay, you know how different. That's a bee. All right, let me tell you something. Yeah. You know how different stuff come in and out of your life, right? Yeah. You ever had a day where something, the best thing happened during the day, right? Yeah. Then it backdoors, then the worst thing happened during that day, right? Yeah. That's God. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, for anybody believe in God or whatever, but that's saying, do you want this or you want that? So if something bad is coming, say how that bee's flying by you, what you want to say is, I don't like that. You got to speak. I don't like when this bee is around me. I don't like when this is by me. Go away. Yeah. I promise the bee or the fly is going to go away. Okay. It's going to fly away. Yeah. But when more stuff comes, like how we talking right now, I love this. I love. You got to speak it.
Right.
You got to use the right words. Say, I love this. I love this type of energy. I
Feeling
want to
it
be
too,
around
right.
this because it's going to bring it. Okay,
Yeah.
you want this, so I'm gonna put more of it to
Right,
you.
hell yeah.
Right, magnetism.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's
I
air to
love
a
that he
fucking
said
fire,
that,
yeah.
and I love this experience that we're having together
There you
as
go.
kings.
For real though.
And we want more of these different
It's
experiences.
dude, it was pouring before you came, and then when
Literally.
you came
Yeah,
to,
man,
to
like-
shoot, hey, look at this. Shit.
Have y'all
Oh,
ever
it's
heard
fucking
the song
perfect.
"The Weather" by Nipsey Hussle?
I haven't.
No, but
I
I know you
haven't.
love
When
it.
we get in the car and go eat our lunch, I'm gonna play
I'm gonna
it.
eat fucking lunch.
Yeah, we.
I'm gonna go sit down somewhere and eat lunch.
Yep.
I gotta say, man, what you've been talking about, like with magnetizing and all that kind of stuff, like I've been going through those motions and this setup, and like, there's a vibe, but like, man, it just feels fucking good.
Exactly.
Feels fucking good.
Exactly.
Oh man, because
Exactly.
I've been so imposed on by.
free.
I've been so
free.
imposed on by
Facts.
the environment around me, and I'm like really trying to find alignment with it, or like the alignment that I'm trying to get
Some
on. And
sort of
sometimes it's like
space.
I'm
Yeah.
fucking drowning and I can't find that. When lightning strikes, like today,
Yep.
it struck today.
Yep.
It struck a couple times when we were outside.
No, yeah, we manifested you.
It just like it
Me
come.
and Dante on the phone
Go ahead.
the other day
Literally.
fucking manifested you
And then yesterday
coming with us.
we
No,
on the
no, no.
phone.
It's not even that. It's like
It's crazy.
y'all like opened your doors to me, which I really appreciate. Even you are opening you're opening your door to all of us too.
Right.
That's what happened. And it's probably because we got to certain levels of where we're at and what we're doing. It's like now is the time. You know, I've been out for 2 months and there was ways I could have contacted you, but I didn't want to be like in a place of like I need charity
Need.
and like yes.
Right.
Because there's a certain distinction of like, okay, I don't have much.
It's like, no, I
but
wanna
I'm
share
like
my
still
fucking
ready
time
with the
with you,
energy,
though, for real,
and I'm like
though.
ready to do things, and I'm like, I know I'm on my steps with my world, but I didn't want to approach you and be like, hey Dante, you know what I mean? Like, and when I got
feel you.
nothing and
And
sort of thing.
likewise, dude.
That
But there's a time where it's just like I'm still at that point where I don't have shit, but like I'm ready to like.
you don't feel
be
like you
doing
have
these
nothing
things.
to offer.
I feel like I have a self to offer. I just don't have any components, and sometimes I feel like I don't have
Got
my
decent
own
enough
language.
camera,
You
though.
don't need that.
Material?
All you got to
mean
offer.
material?
There's material, but like I don't even want to make it about. Bro. Even just hanging out in the
Genesis-
car,
now, you
like
know,
just sitting in
Genesis-
the car, just talking, just like communicating with people. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I've been in such an isolated space, and I'm
Facts.
just in my fucking head all the time, and like it's just like looping because I don't get anything else. And it's the same thing with him. I can tell when we're around, he's just sitting there looping all the time, and I'm like, bro, we gotta get in some other kind of energy. Not in like a hey, help me, but I gotta say like I'm in like
Fellow humanity, like help, like just talk.
there's like a degree where it's just like someone's a charity case, and there's a degree where it's like they're participating.
Losing.
I mean, it depends. It could be anything, man.
Nah, it's
I'd say
losing.
losing.
Because if you losing, that means you ain't know something and you find out something.
And you got the most, like,
But guess
man,
what?
I need to
But guess
prove
what?
myself here. So
I'm gonna flip the script though. I'm gonna flip the script. This about the video I made.
Larry about to flip
You know
the
what I'm
script
saying?
in this
I'm gonna
bitch.
flip the script. When you lose, you can lose that one time, right?
Yeah.
But as you can look at losing as an obstacle, right?
Right.
So if it's an obstacle, people they go past it, right?
Right.
Don't go past it. Destroy it so it don't come again.
Right.
You know what I'm
Simple.
saying?
You overcame that.
Destroy it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went through it, right?
Oh, I was watching Doctor Strange in the multi-universe of madness, and not to do a spoiler alert, but someone said that now that I've overcame the evil, the temptation of evil, I won't be tempted by it again.
Facts.
Literally said it. You have to go through it to get to it. So if you're feeling a sense of urge to do a specific thing,
Do it.
whether you
do
feel
it.
like it's pure or evil, you
Yeah.
should definitely do it
Listen to your
Go with
because
your first mind.
It's not gonna come back.
trusting yourself.
Because
whatever
once
it
you
is.
go with your second mind or your third mind, that means you
Whose
done
mind
you
is
lost
that?
you lost
Yeah.
yourself.
That's
Right.
a self-criticism. That self-criticism can
Now
only come from outside
you're
yourself.
guessing. You're guessing now.
Right.
The first mind, that's what you know. So go off of what you know.
Yeah, exactly. Off the cuff.
so which is instincts. We
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
operate
Second guess is always from outside of you.
right,
A second guess is never going to come from inside of you.
right,
Facts.
right. And that's why I failed so many tests growing up, because I was second guessing myself whether or not this was right or
But
wrong.
even failing those tests.
And
are
really,
the
and
most
really, you
challenging
ran
to get
away
to.
from something that could be great.
Right, and that's all it was. I'm like, man, why I can't? It's because I'm second guessing myself. When in reality, I was right the first time.
You making the process go longer.
Simple.
Life is like a book. You got to keep flipping the pages so
Yeah.
you can turn into the next chapter.
Yeah.
But look at today. Look at today.
You feel me? Though? You feel me?
Look at today for Michael. You started at 5 a.m.
Yo,
Look
I
at
started
how many
5 a.m.
chapters
running away from like people
in the
coming
forest.
into my house.
Yeah, no shit.
And you literally went through so many chapters today.
This morning I was in the mud.
This
in the
nigga went through
river.
so many chapters today. It's ridiculous.
I was in the mud in the river with everything I own.
Right.
Fell in the river.
Right.
And then I got all that set
waking
up.
up in your house. This dude.
Yeah, some guy is like coming over to your house with a flashlight, and he's got the power over you. You see, when you're in your own property, in your own house, right? You have law there. You have law on your side. There's always at the back of me being out there is like, I'm against law.
Right. Right.
And so if anyone
Right.
comes and finds me, they're in the right. And someone could just bust into my home and like do whatever the fuck they want. That's the most fucked up feeling, man. The last 2 months, that's how I've been feeling.
Right.
And someone did catch my first camp. They like ripped open the kind of area that I was staying in, and I had left Apollo at the camp, and I didn't know if they took Apollo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine like your kid, someone could just
Oh
like
my
walk
God,
up. Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Do you know one of the most liberating laws
What's that?
is God's law?
Yeah.
When you combat someone man's law with God's law,
Yeah.
God lets you know that I'm on your side, because you can break the man's law and then you still be
That's what I'm
taken
saying.
care
When
of.
you're connected to the energy of the mother.
Right.
I'm saying the same thing.
The
in a
mother,
different way.
exactly.
When you're connected to the energy of the mother,
Yep.
you'll know what rules can be bent and broken
Right.
and where and when.
Right.
With that connection.
She's literally on. Why would she want to see her child down
Exactly.
bad?
The mother, we are
not.
all her children.
Right.
Right. And she's all trying to help us grow the best that she can and we can. She's not going to give us the challenges that we can't handle.
Right.
And of course, she loves us divinely because we are all her children. We are all chosen by her.
And that goes back to the phrase of God not going to give you too much more than you can handle.
Exactly.
It's the same thing you said. It's just from a black perspective. We grew up with the idea of God, not mother, universal consciousness. We didn't hear those terms until we dove within
as a
ourselves.
European, it like
Right.
it becomes
Right.
like this male figure,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Domineering over
It's
you with
literally-
the rule of law, right?
So that's
and
when
that's
they-
why that's why I come from a single mother, and that was designed for me to know it and see it in the way that I see it, talking about perspective.
Right.
So I know it as a mother, I'm gonna express it like that.
Right.
But it's the same thing spoken in different ways. But that
Exactly.
language, like I said, that language approach really changes how you see and experience. It's like a filter.
Of course, that's why he gave me the bowl and not him the bowl, because it was a language barrier.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's not just the outside. It's not that you can't communicate. It's just Dante clearly like communicates with every motherfucker
Yeah,
around him.
dude. Social butterfly.
Yeah,
Mr.
no
fucking
kidding.
Peanut butter.
Lord.
But see, I just felt like that type of thing from the places that I've been, I feel like it wasn't just a conversational thing. It's like, okay, I asked for this, you should be used to somebody asking for something like this and then here. You know what I'm saying? But he wanted to explain, so that's why.
you didn't even need to go there. I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
That's when everything kind of got discombobulated, like.
But we are all one. Is universal consciousness. So I was there to feel your plight, and we were still able to complete the mission. Basically, we just get the dog some water.
Facts.
I don't like leaving them like too long.